Professor James Whittaker was known for two things: his groundbreaking work in mathematics and his reclusive nature. He spent most of his days in his dimly lit study at Oxford University, surrounded by towering stacks of books and papers. His latest project, an algorithm capable of predicting human behavior, had garnered attention from academics and skeptics alike. But on a cold October evening, the professor was found dead in his study, and the algorithm was nowhere to be found. Detective Inspector Harold Green, a seasoned investigator with a sharp mind and a love for puzzles, was called to the scene. The study was in disarray: books scattered, papers torn, and the professor's desk overturned. The cause of death appeared to be a single gunshot wound to the chest. There were no signs of forced entry, and the only window was locked from the inside. Green examined the room carefully. On the professor's desk, he noticed a half-finished cup of tea, still warm, and a notebook filled with complex equations. The last entry read, "The algorithm is complete, but its implications are dangerous. If it falls into the wrong hands." The sentence was left unfinished. The detective's first suspect was Dr. Eleanor Carter, the professor's Prot. G. and closest colleague. She had been seen arguing with Whittaker earlier that day. When questioned, Eleanor admitted to the argument but claimed it was about the ethical implications of the algorithm. "He wanted to publish it, but I warned him it could be misused," she said, her voice trembling. "I would never hurt him." Next, Green turned his attention to Victor Langley, a wealthy tech entrepreneur who had been trying to buy the algorithm for months. Langley was known for his ruthless business tactics, and his interest in the algorithm was no secret. When confronted, Langley denied any involvement in the professor's death. "I wanted the algorithm, yes, but I'm not a killer," he said coldly. As Green dug deeper, he discovered that the professor had been receiving threatening letters. The letters, written in cryptic language, warned him to stop his work on the algorithm. The detective also learned that Whittaker had recently hired a private security firm to protect his research. The breakthrough came when Green found a hidden compartment in the professor's desk. Inside was a flash drive containing the algorithm's code and a note for Eleanor. "Destroy it, if necessary." Green realized that Whittaker had trusted Eleanor to safeguard his work. But the mystery deepened when the detective discovered that the professor's tea had been laced with a sedative. Someone had tried to incapacitate him before shooting him. Green revisited the crime scene and noticed something he had missed earlier: a faint smudge of paint on the windowsill. Following the clue, Green tracked down the university's maintenance records and found that the professor's window had been repainted the day before his death. The painter, a man named Thomas Briggs, had access to the study. When questioned, Briggs confessed to being paid by an unknown individual to leave the window unlocked. Green pieced together the events. The killer had sedated the professor, entered through the unlocked window, and shot him. The torn papers and overturned desk were a ruse to make it look like a robbery. But the algorithm was the real target. The detective confronted Victor Langley again, this time with evidence of his connection to Briggs. Langley broke down and admitted to orchestrating the murder. "The algorithm was worth billions," he said. "I couldn't let it slip through my fingers." With Langley in custody, Green handed the flash drive to Eleanor. "The professor trusted you to do the right thing," he said. She nodded, tears in her eyes, and destroyed the algorithm. As Green left the university, he couldn't help but reflect on the case. The academic algorithm had promised to predict human behavior, but it had also revealed the darkest aspects of human nature. In the end, the real mystery wasn't the algorithm, it was the lengths people would go to for power and greed. And with that, Detective Inspector Harold Green closed the case, knowing that some mysteries were better left unsolved.